today, but today I have Caitlyn.
Hi.
And we're going to talk to you about Olaplex. It's our top seller in the salon, and we use it every day on our clients, and we get a lot of questions about how it works and what it is. So we're here to answer those questions. And if you have more questions about Olaplex, comment below your questions about Olaplex and we will answer them. We'll answer them in the comments, or if it's a lot of them, we'll make a new video, but we hope to cover most of them. So just let us know if there's something we missed and we'll be happy to answer it. I'm also going to put a link in the description box for free shipping. So we do offer them in the salon. So if you're local, stop on by and we have them here. But if you're not, click that link for free shipping, because who doesn't love free shipping?
Right.
So how did Olaplex start?
It started in 2014 in a garage. It was patented. And it's
the only patented.
Yes, it's the only patented product that has the molecular, it works on a molecular level, and it repairs from the inside, meaning it repairs your disulfide bonds without proteins. Disulfide bonds are within your hair structure.
Millions of hair.
Yes.
Millions of disulfide bonds.
Within your hair.
Within every strand.
Every strand, every layer of your hair has a disulfide bond. What is a disulfide bond? It is a bond within your hair that can be broken, and once it's broken, that means that you have damage. How are ways that you can damage your hair? You have 4 different ways. There is chemically. What is chemically?
Color, perms.
There is thermal.
Flat irons, curling irons.
There is environmental.
That is your hard well water, your UV, hanging out at the beach without putting UV protectant on your hair, and weather.
And mechanical.
Which is brushing, pulling those hair ties out without untying them first. So everybody has some type of damage, whether you color or you don't. Everybody wants to contribute bleaching and coloring to damage, but there are so many ways to damage your hair.
Initially, anything you kind of do with your hair is damaging. So you need to protect your hair. You need to fight that damage. You need to rebuild that damage so you don't have to keep cutting all your hair off. So
when your disulfide bonds are broken, it releases an acid that eats the proteins. So we can pack your hair with proteins, we can pack your hair with moisture, but you're not targeting those disulfide bonds and rebuilding them. So Olaplex rebuilds your disulfide bonds, which are like the bones of the hair, and then protein rebuilds and restores the muscles of the hair, and then moisture will help the skin of the hair,
which is like the outside that gives
cuticle.
The nice, yes, the cuticle that gives the nice soft appearance. Or
so you need all 3, and if you're not addressing those disulfide bonds, then you're still releasing that acid that's eating the proteins. And so you know, you can use protein, Olaplex, and moisture to get an all-around good healthy hair.
Right. So what products do we have here? We have 0. First, we'll start with this. We don't have displayed here, we don't have what we use in the salon. There is number 1 and then number 2. Those are in salon treatments that we use. The number 1 we use within our color, and number 2 we'll use as our treatment in the salon. We might use it as a cutting lotion, or like if you're getting highlights and you get weaved and you have little pieces out, we'll put it on the rest of it. But those are in salon, those aren't take home. So these that we're talking about here are the take home products. The number 0, it's a primer. It's the first step to your intensive treatment. So what that does is it shoves into your hair for more intensifying of what she just had, which is the number 3. So that's the first step to the number 3. So together they work as a really, really good intense treatment.
Can't use 0 alone.
Can't use 0 alone.
But you can use 3 alone.
Yes. So if you're going to use them together, you use the 0 first and kind of saturate your hair with it. And then you put on for 10 minutes, and then you put on the number 3 for about 30 minutes. You don't need to do more than 35, 40 minutes because it's not going to work anymore. Once the hair starts to dry, it's done. It's not going to do anything else, so there's no point in leaving it on there. That's what we were talking about re-strengthens and rebuilds the disulfide bonds. That's the treatment part. Then after you're done with your treatment, your 30 minutes,
This is bond building.
that is bond maintaining shampoo. It helps build your bonds, but it likes to maintain your bonds that you're creating here with your treatments. So there's your shampoo and condition. You always shampoo and condition it out. And if you're leaving just the number 3 in, like if you don't want to get the 0, the number 3 is still great. You dampen your hair first, and then you use that, and then you still shampoo it out. Always shampoo it out. After the 4,
super concentrated, so just a little bit goes a long way.
Yes, like little tiny bits. So after you shampoo and condition with the 4 and 5, then you use the number 6, which is our bond smoother. That is also a leave-in reparative treatment. It helps soothe frizz and helps you have a really smooth, nourishing effect. The number
Again,
7,
a little tiny bit. You don't want to have to shampoo your hair again.
No, because if you put a lot, you're gonna get greasy. It's really super concentrated. You can use this wet or dry. I'd rather use it wet, so that way I can rub it in a little better. Always rub it in your palms first and then distribute through your hair. For the number 6, I always go from like mid-shaft down. That way it's not in my roots. You can put it there, but you don't really need it there. Most of the damage usually occurs from here down, the worst of the damage. Number 7 is the bonding oil. That one, it protects from heat up to 450 degrees.
We don't recommend 450 degrees,
No,
but
don't
it is, it does protect your hair up to 450 degrees.
If you were to need it. So also it protects from the UV rays as well, from environmental things and such. Also, it helps detangle your hair. It helps create shine in your hair, makes it smooth. Not to mention, all this stuff smells wonderful. It all smells kind of the same. It smells so good.
And this is the only oil I can use in my hair. All the other oils that I've tried are just too heavy. But this one is like a dry oil, and it just really, it doesn't weigh my hair down or make it look greasy. Of course, you can use way too much, but it's the only oil I can use in my hair. All these products also are vegan and animal cruelty free, so that's important to a lot of people. Have to mention that. And do you have anything else? No? We are going to demonstrate the 0 and number 3 for you.
She's getting the treatment.
Yes.
We'll be using this. Can you hold your hair up here? What you want to do is start, there we go. Start at your ends, kind of mid-shaft to ends, and squirt it on there. You don't want it soaking wet, but you want to make sure it's saturated. You can go all the way up to your roots if you want. She doesn't really need it up to her roots. We're more focusing on her ends. I like to do it in sections, that way it's easier to apply. So if you don't have a handy other hand, you can you can use a clip. I like to squeeze it so that way it kind of marries it together. See how it's not soaking wet, but it's nice and saturated.
If you want to reschedule, we can.
You can use pretty big sections. You don't have to be perfect with it.
Aww. I don't either, girl, but I did the highway is clear. Yeah, just take it easy, you know. I think
I like this bottle where it squirts out really easy.
are pretty clear too. It's just the secondary roads, but so I think you should be okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you're welcome. Be careful. All right, buddy.
make sure you're getting your little
I'm the same way.
baby hairs in there.
I hardly ever take it out of the car. No, I don't ever carry it in. Yeah. But I have all the stuff. Yeah.
She wants to get a trim plus. We missed her appointment to get the toner done, so it's starting to get a little yellowish. And her roots have grown out a lot. She's not. It's darker though.
So what I could probably do is do a good toner
Yeah.
and lift it. for
Yeah.
her.
Like blend it kind of so yeah.
What color are her roots? Like what?
The dirty blonde.
Last year, I was thinking,
Yeah.
oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
But she wants to be like.
She doesn't, I don't think she minds the natural, so she's like so against blow drying and straightening and curling. She's like, no, it damages my hair.
Definitely getting your blonde pieces up here too.
No, it'll just make it worse. It'll make it. You want me to blow dry it?
Oil.
No.
Put some oil in it. If she
Very
wants
good.
that.
Yeah, I'm good.
She has a really oily scalp. The rest of it is so dry. So I'm like, let me just put some oil in the ends. And she's like, no.
Because it's blonde.
Yeah. She's got a face. Yeah, I know. I was showing Ashley her TikTok the other day. She's like, oh my god, she's so cute. But she wants to. I think she wants to get it cut shorter. I was like, oh, too short.
I know. Did we cut a lot off last time?
Yeah, it has grown. Her hair grows.
Short hair is definitely coming into
Yeah.
a lot of girls are getting chopped.
Yeah,
First of all,
I know.
you're out of
Her
paying for
hair is
hair.
probably around your length, maybe an inch longer.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to be like 3 inches. I know.
The only problem with that is because hers is so thick and curly.
Yeah.
It's gonna, like, that's what I have with Adrian. Like, Adrian can't go too short because it mushrooms out.
Yeah, well, that's what I told her. I was like, yeah, it'd be fine if you would straighten it.
Right.
But you know what?
Or she had more fine, straight
Yeah.
hair, but
Yeah.
when it's curly like that, you gotta be careful cutting it too short.
Yeah.
You know what she could do if she really was trying? Go with flesh treatment.
Yeah.
And if she wants, if I look at her hair and I'm able to tell if I can just put it to about 1 weeks,
Right.
then
And again, once you have it all saturated,
Right.
make sure you're squeezing it so that way it's
Right.
all kind of married together.
and then she can do the Olaplex treatment.
Yeah. Yeah, that would probably be good.
Because I think that would be good for her.
Yeah.
I can do the toner and then do that treatment and oil.
Yeah.
That would help.
All right, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You let this sit for 10 minutes. Our 10 minutes with this. Don't rinse it out, but we're gonna add the number 3. If it's visible. Hold your hair up here. Oh, you might wanna open it first. So for this one, again, you don't rinse out the 0. You just put the 3 right in there afterwards.
Shut up.
The 3 is the treatment. You don't have to use the 0, but the 0 adds more like a booster to it. Like it gives it more oomph. Makes it more of an intensive repair treatment.
Yep. Yep. But after you're done, then you'll release that. Yeah. Right.
But it is good if I got
Come on, yeah. 3 straight years because mine are 19 months apart. That was literally, I know I was
Again, get those baby hairs.
I heard that.
She tried for like
And you're not wanting to do this soaking wet either, but make sure, especially the ends or wherever your problem area is, your damaged area, make sure those are good and saturated.
And I would have kept going, but he just one day didn't want it. And I was like,
So I know I will be sad.
Yeah.
And like sometimes
It smells so good. It does smell good. Olaplex smells very sweet, almost perfumey.
And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to be like, right.
And as you get through it, see, I was just combing it through with my fingers, but you can use a wide tooth comb. Just that way it's not so knotty. And see these giant sections I'm grabbing. Especially around the front, make sure you're getting these pieces up here, because right around the hairline is the most fragile hair, so it's more prone to the damage. Well then. When you throw your wide tooth comb, just use your fingers. You can kind of put it in your hands and then rub it through the hair, but I think it's easier, especially with long, thick hair like this one has. Kind of squirt a line down the middle of it and then just rub it in. At the end, take a little bit, rub it on your hands. Make sure you get all around that hairline. This will also keep it from breaking at the hairline, so you can grow all those little baby hairs. And then comb through it all. After you're all done, I threw my comb, but we'll use my fingers. Now this one sits for minimum of 10 minutes. I always recommend do about 30 minutes with this, the number 3, but no more than 35 to like 45 minutes. That should be the max if you're a super in need of this treatment. But no, it maxes out at the 45 minutes. It's not going to do anything else because your hair will start to dry. And once your hair is starting to dry, it's not going to do anything else. But about 30 minutes should be just fine. Now we're not rinsing out, but we're shampooing out. And we're using the number 4. It's important that you shampoo it out and not just rinse it out of your hair. I want to wet her hair a little bit, just so we get bubbles. Rinsing, you can still feel it's pretty goopy. Don't worry about getting all the goopy stuff out. Because that's what the shampoo is for. since it's been a few days since she shampooed her hair, we're gonna do it a second time. You can see how much I'm using for all of her hair. Just a little teeny bit. It's a super concentrated product, so you don't need bunches.
Oh, yes, yes, and I'll put 200 down, that way. Yeah, and then, let's get them in. Yeah. And am I taking that, or you must start? I'll probably take it.
I think it's been years since I've had my hair shampooed by somebody else.
Right? That's the best feeling ever. This part is the best part.
Just try to do the hand sanitizer with it, and if I get any stuff, then I'll push play. I play in March, maybe the 13th. So sometime before the 13th. But any day, anytime, I can make it. You Wednesday.
After the number 4 is the number 5. And this is the conditioner. And as you're rubbing it in, make sure you're kind of like running your fingers through it so you're detangling the hair as well. You'll leave this in for 3 minutes. I always just start at the end and then come up to the scalp. That way most of it's on the ends. For conditioners, you always focus at the end because it takes longer for the natural oils to get to the ends, especially if you have long, long hair. all shampoo.
Okay, let's see over here. Okay. Do you have anything under this? You don't.
Now after you shampoo and condition is where you would use the number 6 and the number 7, which are the styling products. There we are.
So as you can see, we explained the whole Olaplex line and we demonstrated a treatment in my hair. But if you have any questions, comment them below and we'll be happy to answer them, and stay tuned for our next video. Bye.